All right. Hopefully this will go up and we won't get any interference, but I'll try to be short if I can. Welcome back, everybody. Today is still the July 5th, 2022, Tuesday. I'm Roy Potter. And I did a video here this morning, a live stream. And uh, as I said, the information that was being presented by the YouTube presenters, and I'm not going to mention their names. Some of you might recognize who it is by what I'm going to say here today, both from this morning and now. But I've just got to say that I've confirmed exactly what I considered was their thrust in their theocratic ideas in their doctrine. And let me just put it this way. Again, I don't want to mention the names. It's not because I'm afraid to take them head on. I'm not. The point is that this is part of the division, I think, because it follows along with the principles of Baphomet, what they're preaching, and also the New World Order in destroying the male-female relationship, destroying the sexes, and it's just blatantly obvious, hidden behind a so-called Christian background, as I've been warning about. So uh, I got those two videos from last night. I reviewed them, and it seemed like the thrust was about the female being the cause of evil in the world. Basically, that was the thrust. And the presenter mentioned a particular YouTube, um, I suppose I'd have to say preacher. And so I went to look at his information, and I was aware of him from some past run-ins on some of these similar things. And sure enough, during my review of one of his videos, this this YouTube evangelist, I don't really know what to call him actually, uh, he just came right out and said that the male female body system is the enemy. Ladies and gentlemen, what have I been saying about the problems with Christianity? This supposed Christian, God fearing man said that the duality here is evil. And there are some things about duality that are a problem. But he actually confirms what I said was his thrust and the other YouTube presenter from last night, that the male female body system is the enemy. Now, if you look at that argument from the Christian point of view, the way it's pushed today in so many ways, I understand that marriage is considered a sacramental institution, a sacred institution by most Christians, but they don't understand how that is actually being manipulated and perverted from within inside their own religious spiritual system. And these two guys that I've been watching now since last night show how dangerous and how disgusting it is, because it is Luciferianism disguised as a Christian faith. The Luciferians teach the idea of Baphomet, right? The male female in one body, right? In other words, a sexless being. In other words, an androgynist. And according to some of the early Christian ideas and earlier, the end result is to be in a sexless heaven. I'm not going to say who it is, okay? There's a reason why I'm not going to bring up the name. Frankly, I don't want to give him any airtime because he's disgusting. Again, this neuro-linguistic programming that these guys use to sound all holy and righteous and like God, like they're God's messenger. He even says that, even this next guy. And he gets all teary-eyed because he quotes Isaiah and says he's the messenger. And he's so thrilled that he's the messenger. And then he's telling you that your male-female relationships, even when they're done perfectly, righteously, with no promiscuity, no adultery, no fornication, all that, that you're still in the system of the enemy. His preaching from that position, as I just said, is no different than what the New World Order, the Luciferians, etc., are trying to push today. But he does it, these two do it, under the guise that coming to Christ means that you're going to be androgynous. Robert Bowman, you're very smart. That's all I'll say. You must be up on things. These are antichrist. They are antichrist. God says that he, if you believe the Bible, okay? I'm just talking biblical stuff. I can get off on some other details, some other theologies and other things. But if you believe the Bible, like this guy does and his other mouthpiece that I listened to last night, if you believe that, then you're having to throw away almost everything else that the scriptures teach in order to accept that heresy. And it is a heresy because it's designed to destroy you and your image of God. They even come out and denigrate the first chapter of Genesis, saying those are the fallen angels that created the worlds, the earth, and the men and the women. That it wasn't God's idea to do that. God just let them do it. Look, the attack on the man-woman relationship is so insidious that it's even being done by so-called Christian pastors who tell you that the male-female body system, that now they'll try to alter it and say, well, no, we're talking about an individual, that you have a female spirit that's warring with your male spirit. BS. BS. I cannot come anywhere near close to rebuking this evil that these people, and somebody's already named one of them, these people are doing. They're women haters. They're the true misogynists, and they're the true Luciferian devil Satanists because they hate women. They hate the division of the male and female that comes together and creates new life. I tell you what, I am livid right now, if you can't tell. I am livid. I am just, I was aware of this guy, of these things, but to see it that staring me in the face and doing it in the name of God, I was furious. I've lost my temper. So again, Christianity is perverted in many aspects, and this is one of them. And it's been going on for 2,000 years. The denigration of the man-woman, male-female relationship, that it's the male-female body system that's the enemy, flies in the face of everything you see in not just nature, but the universe. Yeah, Hermetics. Well, it passes off as Christianity. I'm not going to belabor the point anymore. I really haven't got time for this today. I've got a lot of other things I have to do, which is why I did that live stream earlier and said I need to go along and get that done. But I just had to make sure that I knew where these guys were coming from, and I'll be damned if he didn't actually say it in the video. The male-female body system is the enemy. In other words, you need to be exterminated. You need to be androgynous or exterminated. Same thing. And this other guy, he was talking about, well, there are two systems here. There's the red blood system and the blue blood system. And that's very true. and that the blue bloods are trying to do away with CO2 because it's poisonous to them, and that's why they're talking about they have to reduce CO2. I believe that. So here are all these truths going around about the Luciferian system that's trying to take over the world and destroy you. And then these hypocrites, these liars, these deceivers then come out and say, oh yeah, the man-woman thing, that's the enemy. That is the enemy. Yes, Virginia Olson. I'm not going to say that. I shouldn't even confirm that. As I've done that, it'll be the second time. But that guy's bad. He's evil to the core, and he looks like an angel of light. I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed. So, the way it looks like to me is that more of that's on its way, and it's getting a lot of assistance from the Christian side of things. And I realize that's not everybody. But it's been along there for a long time. It's been preached about what Jesus himself was, and James and the early Christians. In the Gnostic Gospels, I told you once in one of my presentations about how in the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Philip, I believe it was, that the apostles came to Jesus and said, well, why are you so in love with Mary? She's not worthy of the life. She's not a male. And Jesus said, no, I'll make her male. I'll bring her in. He's talking about marriage, but they're talking about doing away with the male-female relationship. That's Gnostic. That's Hermetics. Yeah. That's Hermes. That's Mercury. That's not... I shouldn't get this flustered, but I just... The evil is just beyond the pale at this point. The twisting of Scripture to make it so that you hate yourself, that you hate your mate, that you won't even look for a mate, because if you get with a member of the opposite sex, you're somehow in the system that's the enemy. All right, I just wanted to let you know I confirmed my concerns, and that this theosophical position, it's not really theosophy. Actually, it is now I think about it. It actually is. And it's alive and well, and it's being preached across the board. Yes, the male-female relationship is something that should be guarded, should be protected, should be honored, and handled with responsibility. But to say that it needs to be destroyed because it's the enemy itself is Luciferian. That's what Lucifer was trying to destroy, and that's what these so-called Christians are trying to destroy as well. Not all Christians. Yeah, it's a form of transhumanism. Absolutely it is. Okay. I just had to clear that up, that I confirmed what I was worried about, and it's actually, it's no wonder we're in so much trouble. All right, I'll see y'all later out here.